Welcome to tonight's birthday live stream. I'm going to get started in a minute. I just need to let everybody on social media know that the show is getting started.
At Midas, we
Okay, got 8 people in the room now that I finished promoting. Glad to see you all here. Thank you for all the birthday wishes. And if you guys want to drop a birthday Cash App gift, you can drop a Cash App and it'd be greatly appreciated. So I'm going to get into some early perfunctory regarding things going on with SJS Direct. Then I'm going to go and start talking about this whole soft girl whatever it is that you got the black women talking about right now. Now, the John Haynes at Death Store Kickstarter, I have fulfilled about 93% of the comics, and most people who have gotten the comics have been happy with the books that they have received. Now, I've got about 5 more books that I need to ship out, and they will be shipped out around the week of the 15th because I'm still waiting for some more John Haynes, A Conversation with Death books to come in. And once I get those books, everything as related to the last 2 people who bought the bundle and the 2 people who bought the prose and print entry points, you will be getting your books. And I will have fulfilled all the orders on the John Haynes at Death Store almost at that point. Now, there are 2 people who still haven't filled out their what they call them, surveys, and I'm still waiting for your information. And once I get your information, then we will be 100% fulfilled, and we will be fulfilled before the goal date of November of 2022. So we will be fulfilled 90 days before the goal date that everybody was supposed to first get their books, and that will be a major accomplishment because it says that the logistics on this project were well put together to get everybody all of their books and get them all on time. So that with that said, that's what is related to the John Haynes at Death Store. And I'm getting ready after John Haynes at Death Store to start launching the fall 2022 books like The Woman Crisis. And you can now pre-order The Woman Crisis on Google Play right now. So you can pre-order The Woman Crisis. Order it on Google Play. And you can also now pre-order The Woman Crisis on the iBookstore. So thank you, D-Wood. and you can get it on the iBookstore. And you can also now pre-order The Woman Crisis on Barnes and Noble. So you can pre-order The Woman Crisis on Google Play, the iBookstore, and you can also pre-order it on Smashwords. So it's going to be on all digital platforms, and you'll be able to get The Woman Crisis on every digital platform because I've planned to launch this book on every digital platform in addition to Kindle and a paperback version because I believe this book has valuable information for men and women. Now, there are some people who are upset that a man is writing The Woman Crisis, but I believe we do need The Woman Crisis, and a lot of our women out here need The Woman Crisis because this is why we have gimmicks like the soft girl, because you have women in crisis and they just don't see where their lives are just completely messed up. Now, the Woman Crisis will be coming out everywhere on this November 29th, November 29th. So get ready to get ready for the Woman Crisis on November 29th of this year. So I'm trying to create a 90-day window so everybody can go get the Woman Crisis. And this is the companion to 2018's critically acclaimed The Man Crisis. And I'm hoping everybody comes out and picks up a copy of The Woman Crisis. Now, in addition to that, if anybody wants to help support the channel and give another birthday gift, you can pick up Isis Legacy and Eastern Horror of the Hyena Woman, which are both available on Amazon.com right now in paperback and Kindle format. So you can also help the channel by giving a gift by going out here and picking up Isis Legacy and Eastern Horror of the Hyena Woman. Now, there was a viewer who had put in a Cash App donation, and they were concerned that I wasn't going to make a video for them, but I want them to know I will be filming that video tomorrow night. So that video should be coming on Monday or Tuesday. Sometimes it takes time for me to get videos out here, but if you do request a video, I will make that video for you as soon as possible, depending on my schedule. So with all that said and done, I'm going to get into tonight's topics, which is my birthday, and I turned 49 today. So I'm getting 1 year closer to 50, and I wish I could have accomplished a bit more, but I thank God for what I was able to accomplish in the time that I've had over the last 49 years. So I really am grateful for surviving a brain aneurysm at the age of 7 and then still being able to get to this point, because there was a time in my life when I thought I wouldn't get to this point, but I thank God that I'm here at this time. And the whole thing is I'm here, and maybe in later, as God will continue to bless me, I'll be able to do more. So I'm hoping that God will bless me to be able to do more in the future, and I'll be able to accomplish some more of my goals that I have wanted to do for myself. Now, my family did go out here, and one of my family members bought me a pair of new sneakers, these New Balance sneakers, which I really like. They're very nice. These are 2002 Rs. I really like them. So this is something that I wanted to get for a long time. And I picked up some G.I. Joe classified figures like this Cobra Officer. And I also got I got a Marvel Legends Toad and some other stuff too. And I got some nice birthday cards from my family. So I was blessed with some very nice gifts, and I was able to get some things for myself. So I had a very nice birthday. I ate some homemade fried chicken, and I had a good time, and had some nice cake that was made by a family member. So I had a nice birthday at home, and the whole thing is that I had it was a good birthday. I mean, I didn't do much today, but I did have a good time doing what I was doing. I mean, I did film the AEW video today, and again, I'm going to get to that video for the viewer with the Cash App, and I'm also going to do a Man Crisis video on 2 of those incidents, one the kidnapping of the jogger and the mass shooting. I will be filming those this weekend, so that's a heads up as related to upcoming content. and that we're going to get into tonight's topic. Now that I'm finished talking about my birthday, again, if you guys want to send me a Cash App or a Super Chat to celebrate my birthday, that would be greatly appreciated. But I'm going to get into tonight's topic. Now, tonight's topic, I'm going to be talking about this whole new soft girl era that you have some of these black women out here promoting. And you have these black women out here talking about the whole concept of the soft girl. And this is a gimmick that your black women have basically taken from um, white women, and they've taken this gimmick from white women back in that came out in 2019. Now, back in 2019, you had these teenage girls out here talking about they were gonna be these soft girls, and these soft girls they were on Instagram and social media out here in 2019 talking about how they were wearing pink, how they were soft and feminine, and this gimmick just came and went on social media. However, your black women only picked up this gimmick this year once it was made a narrative as related to the late Kevin Samuels. Now, the late Kevin Samuels went out here and talked about the whole idea of girls being soft and feminine. And once he started talking about the whole idea of girls being soft and feminine on his show, that's when we had all of these black females out here who used to get castigated on his program going out here talking about a whole narrative of being a so-called soft girl. And the whole concept has been hijacked by a group of black females who just basically want to go out here and take a gimmick out and try to make it their own. And what they want to do is try to go out here and try to repurpose this gimmick because they need some way to get attention from all of these men out here who already know the deal as related to these black females. So you've got a group of black females out here, and what they want to do is go out here and repurpose an old gimmick that young white girls have already walked away from, and they want to go out here and create a concept for themselves in a desperate effort to get attention for themselves. Now, this whole group of black females who are now talking about being soft girls, these are nothing more than old, busted, old, strong, independent black women. And these old, busted, strong, independent black women, these are residents of what I call in the woman crisis bust downtown. And what the bust downs want to do is they want to try to reinvent themselves because they know that they're running out of options. And because they know that they're running out of options, they don't have many ways to get attention from many of these men anymore. So they are in a desperate attempt to try to get attention for themselves. And what they're doing out here is, like D Wood is saying, they're the female chameleon. And what they're doing is trying to change their colors, hoping to get the attention of one of these busted simps out here and hoping to get one of these old simps out here to think that they're getting a quality woman, but they're not getting anything quality at all. If anything, your so-called soft girls are the same abrasive, loud, argumentative females, and these same abrasive, loud, argumentative females, what they want to do is the equivalent of when you go to the used car lot, what they do on some of these cars that are in terrible condition, what they do is try to change up the outside so that you won't notice the mechanical problems on the inside. Because whenever you go to a used car lot, sometimes what they do on cars that have serious issues like a cracked block, a blown head gasket, or some other super expensive, costly repair that practically renders the vehicle inoperable, what they do is they go out here and they take the outside of that car and they try to go out here, sand down all of the paint. What they do is also try to cut out some of the rust if the car has rust issues, or they try to go out here and try to fix other areas with things like the Bondo. They slap the Bondo on and try to rough out all the imperfections, and then they get it ready for paint. And once they get that car ready for paint, then what they do is slap a brand new layer of paint on that vehicle. And you don't know that this car is having serious issues as related to its whole engine and its transmission. So you're sitting there thinking, oh, I've got a brand new, a good looking car that looks almost brand new, but the only thing that looks new is the paint job. You're not aware of the problems unless you go and take it to an expert auto mechanic. If you take it to an expert auto mechanic, he can tell you just by listening to the sounds of the engine, okay, this is sounding like it's got rod knocking, or this car it's got issues as related to a head gasket, because you'll start seeing the blue smoke, or you will just take a look at the dipstick and you'll see the milkshake. So you're gonna see problems if you know what to look for. But what soft girls want you to do is be looking at the outside, and when you look at the outside, you can't really see the issues as related to the inside. I'm glad to hear that your son was happy with John Haynes at Death's Door. I mean, I know he's one of John Haynes' biggest fans, and that was one of the things that motivated me to go out here and put together the John Haynes comic. I mean, yeah, I'm glad he enjoyed the comic, and I'm glad he enjoyed the comic. And I'm hoping one day to get some more comics out here, but I can only do that with everybody's support. Thank you for the birthday wishes, Jerobi and Luciano. Luciano, I'm 49 going on 50. And I've got some plans, Rodney, for the birthday, for the 50th birthday, but it depends on how my money is. See what I'll do for my 50th birthday. Maybe Blitzway Voltron or something like that. But it's still got a lot of things going. But I'm going to get back to this topic, because this whole idea of a soft girl is just, it's farcical when I think about it, because the whole idea of a soft girl, again, is like trying to go out here and put this paint on this busted car. And what you want to do is try to think, oh, it's a Donk, it's a Box Chevy, or one of these popular cars. And the women are doing the same thing. This was the chick who was very popular back in high school. This was the chick back in high school who was the hottie. And what she's thinking now, after years of being out here with Pookie and Ray Ray, dropping the skid mark thong for Pookie and Ray Ray, and getting ran through by Pookie and Ray Ray, what she's thinking is, after going out here and having relationships with these guys, being loud and argumentative with with men over a course of decades, what she's thinking is, I will go out here and try to change my image, try to change my reputation, and I will try to make it look like I'm being soft and feminine on the outside by wearing pink, by wearing soft makeup and wearing dresses, but underneath all of those dresses and that soft makeup is the same angry and bitter woman. Killer Sai, I'm 49, not 50 just yet. I'll be 50 in 2023. But thank you again for the birthday wishes. I'm 49, going on 50 next year. But I'm just celebrating 49 at this point. But when you're dealing with this kind of female, what she wants to do is dress up the outside and thinking, oh, that this will be able to distract from seeing all of her flaws and imperfections. But all of her flaws and imperfections, she may be able to dress up the outside with some painted makeup and try to put on a dress. But most men will know the difference between a woman who is a soft girl and an actual feminine woman, because there is a big difference between a so-called soft girl and an actual feminine woman. A soft girl is pretending to be soft and feminine, whereas an actual feminine woman is feminine from day one. And a feminine woman has traits and body language that will show that she's naturally feminine, because this woman has been raised to be feminine, and she's been raised to respect men. And that is one of the things that's going to come quickly across, because her actions are going to speak louder than her words. Her actions are going to show that she is a feminine woman, because a feminine woman, she is going to be, one, respectful of men, and it's going to come naturally from her natural behavior. Whereas a soft girl, she doesn't know how to act feminine, and the whole thing is that she will put on facades and veneers based on what she thinks is feminine. But many of these so-called soft girls, they have been raised in feminist culture, and because they have been raised in feminist culture, many of these women have extreme masculine traits, and those masculine traits will start to come out once a brother starts going out here and acting masculine and starts asserting male authority and, starts looking to go out here and lead. And that's when the soft girl is going to start pulling the neck rolling, start pulling the eye snapping, start getting the attitude. That's when you're going to see the soft girl start showing her hardness and masculinity, because being feminine is not part of her core values, because this woman has been raised in feminist culture. And because she's been raised in feminist culture, this woman is not feminine at all. In fact, she has never been raised to be feminine. In fact, if anything, she has been raised to be masculine. And because she's been raised to aspire to be masculine, this woman, she can try as hard as she can to try to be soft, but that hardness is gonna come through as related to her behavior, because those ways that she was raised are hard set as related to her values. And once her values have been set, there is no way to deprogram them at that point, because when you've got a woman who is 30, 40, 50, even 60 years old, she cannot change and be soft, because she is naturally hard at that point, and she's hard set in her values. So if she's out here trying to be the soft girl, she's going to look really awkward, and she's going to look like what I talk about in the book, The Woman Crisis, to be basically a caricature of a woman. Yes, she would be a anatomical woman. Yes, she will be wearing a dress, but her behavior is not going to be soft. Her body language isn't going to be soft. No, she's going to be walking like a man and acting like a man. And so you can go out here and talk all the soft girl stuff and all of the talking points that you believe are soft, but your values and ideas are going to run counter, and your actions are going to run counter. And that's why this gimmick that they're pulling is always going to fail. It's because you have to understand what the soft girl is really all about. The soft girl is all about is a gimmick. It's no different than a wrestler out here. When you have a wrestler, he puts on a gimmick, and the whole goal of the gimmick is to get your attention. Like, for example, John Cena, he put on a rapper gimmick to get the attention of the crowd, and the whole goal of the rapper gimmick was so people could get to know his character. And once they got to know his character and connected with his character, then he could start showing other sides of himself. That's what a gimmick is basically designed to do, is get people's attention so that they can get over with a crowd. And that's basically what this is as related to these black women. They're running out here with a gimmick looking to get the attention of men because they really don't, they cannot go here out here on their own. Many of these women who want to go out here with the soft girl gimmick, they can't get over as related to their charisma or their personality. So they need these gimmicks to try to get your attention. And then once they get your attention, what they try to do is try to engage you. But the problem is that for all of the flash of the gimmick, many of these women don't have anything substantive to bring to a relationship or to make a connection with a man, because making connections with men is about your internal character. And many of these women, they have nothing of substance to offer as related to their internal character, and their internal character has been corrupted by feminism. It's also been corrupted by years of being raised in dysfunctional environments like single mother households. And because they have been completely corrupted by the immoral values of feminists, and they have been raised in dysfunctional environments like single mother households, they know that they don't have the character that can attract a man of character. So what they hope to do is use a gimmick to try to deflect from their character. And as they're trying to deflect from their character with the gimmick, what they want to do is hope that you will be caught up in their visuals, that you won't really see the issues as related to their character. Again, just like the used car, what they want to do is use the paint and the shine of the clear and the wax and the polish to distract you from the internal issues. And they're hoping that some naive guy who is so caught up in his emotions about the make of the car and the paint won't be thinking about the engine issues or the transmission issues, essential issues as related to the vehicle's value and also what the function of the vehicle. And the same thing with the black woman. What she wants you to do is not really think about her internal character. They want you to get caught up in their so-called soft looks. But any man of character can look past those soft looks and they can see the real woman that is there. What's going on, Frank Nitty? Thank you for the birthday wishes. Thank you for the birthday wishes, David and Chris. Really glad to see you here. Thank you for the birthday wishes, Eric. Really glad to see you all here. And I'm talking about the so-called soft girl black women. And I'm out here and I'm just talking about this soft girl gimmick because, again, it's something that these females like to do. And it's just something that they like to do to get your attention and distract you from the issues as related to their character. So you have a lot of these females out here. They want to go out here and use this kind of gimmick. And they want to use this gimmick because they are extremely desperate. Now, many of these females out here, we've got the passport bros added again, and the passport bros are going to be booted from the stream. So I'm not talking about passports on my birthday. And again, it shows you the dysfunctional mindset of the so-called passport bros. I mean, these individuals, they are basically stalking this channel. And again, why are you stalking a channel of content you don't like? Why are you watching content that you don't like? And I mean, I don't watch TV shows that I don't like, and I don't go out here stalking individuals. It's just really troubling to me that they come to my stream. I mean, are you over at the white supremacist stream? That's a critical question I want to ask. Or are you over at the black pastor stream? Better yet, since the passport bros want to go there talking about, your black women. I mean, if you are so against the black community and want nothing to do with it, then why are you here on my stream? That's another critical question I want to ask. And I also want to wonder, again, if these guys are so wanting to get away from the black community, why are you here on a stream talking about somebody where I'm talking about a different subject? So I'm sitting here wondering, why are these passport bros still stalking my channel? I mean, I have already told you I'm not talking about this anymore. I mean, are you this insecure about your little narrative that anybody who disagrees with it, you have to keep arguing about it? I mean, I am moved on. And again, this is what David Carroll talked about as related to these beta males. They do not understand boundaries. They just keep going back and forth, and they just sit here and still looking to argue about a narrative that I have moved on from. I mean, if your passport is such a viable way for you to go out here and get with a so-called quality woman, then why are you in a stream where I'm talking about the gimmicks that black women use? Again, critical question I want to ask these passport pros. Why are you on a stream where we're talking about black women if you've already said you're tired of black women and you want to go out here and get your foreign woman? Go out here, get your foreign woman, go out here, be with your foreign woman, get her to drop the hula skirt or whatever she's wearing, a skid mark thong, and go get your taste of that foreign atomic waste and go have your nice life. I mean, that's how many of these guys, I mean, if it's so good over there, why don't you go over there? I mean, these passport bros, they walked away from my Patreon. They wouldn't want to support a black man with a black business, but they want to go out here and harass a black man, all because he's trying to explain, hey, women are women everywhere. And the same foreign women who run that gimmick over there are the same as the black women who are running the gimmick over here. These are all desperate females who know that they are running out of options, and these females are running out of options, and that's why they come out here trying to dress soft, and that's why they're out here trying to put on the soft makeup and try to appear feminine, and they need the gimmick, again, to try to draw you in. And the reason why they need the gimmick to draw you in is because they know that most men are visual, and because they know that most men are visual, what they do is they get caught up in their emotions. They start acting thirsty, and as they start acting thirsty, what they do is they go out here and react to this woman impulsively in the soft pink dress with the soft makeup on. And as they're reacting to the soft woman in the soft dress, what they do is they go out here and they're dressed up and they're getting caught up in it, thinking, oh, this is a soft feminine woman. And what happens to these guys is these simps wind up getting caught up with this female, and this female winds up playing them like a record, because only a naive, gullible simp is the one who doesn't know the difference between a feminine woman and a soft girl, because the whole concept of a soft girl, again, it's a gimmick that they use because they know that a feminine woman has a completely different behavior, completely different demeanor, completely different attitude, and that is due to the way she has been raised in a home with her father. When you have a woman who has been grew up in a home with a father, they are naturally feminine, and they're naturally feminine because their mother has taught them actual femininity, and they've taught them how to go out here and do things that your soft girls can't do. A feminine woman can go out here and knows how to sit in a skirt. A feminine woman knows how to go out here and she knows how to sit with her legs together. She knows how to carry and conduct herself in a conversation. And she knows how to be poised and disciplined. These are things that to many of your feminist indoctrinated women do not know how to do. And it is these little cues that will tell you the difference between a feminine woman and a so-called soft girl, because the soft girl's mental maturity is stuck in a state of arrested development, and it's stuck in a state of arrested development where they are just like teenagers. And because they're stuck in a state of arrested development, these women's minds are mentally at an age of about 12 to about 18 years old. So all you have to do is start talking to this female, and you'll see that the soft girl has the mind of a girl and does not have the character traits of a feminine woman. And because she doesn't have the traits of a feminine woman, the soft girl will be out here putting on a veneer that anybody, any man of character can see through. And once he just takes a look at her behaviors, takes a look at her demeanor, look at the way she acts in public, he'll know the difference between a soft girl and a feminine woman. So any guy who just does a little bit of critical thinking, they can just see past this facade that they have propped up, and they can see past all of this gallon of makeup they have put up on their face and those ridiculous eyelashes, and they can see through that weave, because we know that this isn't a soft girl. This is just a bust down with a paint job. And that's basically what your soft girls are. You're just bust downs with paint jobs, and they're hoping that you will be able to look at the paint job and get caught up in all of its beauty, but not see the wreck that's under the paint job. I mean, this is something that many of these women are hoping you'll do. They're hoping you'll go out here and look at the paint job and look at the dress and look at how it's all put together. But this woman can't do this all the time. And again, that's another trait that tells you the difference between a soft girl and a feminine woman. A feminine woman, she can do this every day. And because she can do it every day, she knows how to put together outfits. She knows how to take care of herself. Her hygiene is always on point, because this is something she does every day. Whereas the soft girl, she's going to start deteriorating right after your first meeting. And after she starts after your first meeting and she puts on the big show, she's not going to be able to keep up the performance. And she's not going to be able to keep up the performance because she just doesn't know how to go out here and live this life. This is the life that the feminine woman lives every day. And because she lives this life every day, she has no problem going out here and participating in this natural behavior, because this is part of the way she's raised. And because this is a part of the way that she's raised, this is who she is, and this is who she is. So you can tell the difference between a so-called soft girl and a feminine woman. Now, the soft girl, again, she's not going to be able to keep this up but for so long. Eventually, she's going to put on the leggings, she's going to put on the yoga pants, and she's going to go out here and put on the bonnet. And that's when you're going to see that this chick is actually busted. And when she starts showing how busted she is, that's when you're going to realize you got yourself a lemon. And that's what these females hope you'll do. They hope you'll get involved with them. They hope you'll be looking to get closer to them. And then once you start to get closer to them, that's when they start to show you their natural backside. And that's when you get the bait and switch, as one of the viewers pointed out. Once you go out here and buy into their facade, that's when you get the bait and switch. And they're hoping that they can go out here, put on this act, and have you going out here, getting in your feelings, hoping that you'll get emotional over them. And then what you'll do is hope they can get you eventually to the aisle for a marriage. And then once you wind up getting married to the soft girl, that's when the hard times start to happen for Mr. Simp. all the simps do, they're just thinking, oh, I'm getting my taste of the atomic waste. It smells really good down there, and she's really got everything going. And they're thinking, oh, this woman is so fine. But then once you get involved with her, eventually you go from her smelling like flowers to her smelling like butt and ravioli. And once she starts smelling like butt and ravioli, that's when you start to go, oh man, I got into a bad situation. And she's sitting up there laughing because she thinks she's got one, especially if she got you to walk down the aisle. And that's what she's hoping she can get you to walk down the aisle, because either you're going to put up with butt that smells like ravioli for the rest of your life, or you're going to lose half of your stuff in a divorce. That is the ultimate goal of the so-called soft girl. She wants you to go out here and get involved with her busted self, and she will go out here and tell you that, oh, this is the real me. No, it's not the real her. It's a facade she's putting up, and it's a facade she's putting up hoping to hook a simp in. And she's hoping that once she hooks the simp in, she will go out here and be able to lock him in and have him under her control. So that's what she does. She wants to go out here and lock him down. And that's what many of these females want to do. Yeah, Chris, it's a smell that's very distinct. I mean, when people don't wash themselves, some of them, they do smell like ravioli, and some of them do start smelling like Parmesan cheese or peaches, or in some cases, orange, because you get this combination underarm funk and butt funk, and in the case of some of these females, coochie funk, and it all comes together, and they go out here and it makes a smell that is just like ravioli, or in the worst case, you got the Parmesan cheese. And again, a lot of these females do not wash, and they do not wash. And it's again, they will spray their bodies with perfume to cover it up as the soft girl. And they'll go out here and put the facade on. And you'll be sitting up there thinking, oh, this is the soft girl. No, it's not the soft girl. It's just a hard facade, and that facade is meant to fool you into thinking you're going to be getting a quality woman when all you're getting is a bust down that would be 50, 60, 70, even 80% off in bust downtown. And the whole thing is you've basically paid full price for something that was in the discount bin, and you're sitting there thinking you've got the prize. No, all you got was a lot of grief. So want to thank ASM Will for the happy birthday, Mike Larry, Moses. Want to thank you all for the birthday wishes. But this is the whole thing, that when you're dealing with these females, a lot of them, again, they don't take care of their hygiene, and what they want to do is make themselves into the soft girl, hoping that you will again not look at these internal and external character defects until you start having a relationship with this woman. Once you start getting caught up in this woman's, as related to your feelings, what they want to do is get you so caught up in them that you wind up not seeing anything that's wrong. And that's when they take off the disguise. And once they take off the disguise, that's when you get the bonnet. That's when you get the raggedy t-shirt. That's when you get the leggings. And that's when you get the yoga pants that she wears with no drawers and have skid marks in the back because she ain't got no drawers on under those leggings or those yoga pants. And you're dealing with this female, and this female, again, she's just absolutely funky. And she's sitting there, she's got you in the trap, and the whole thing is you're in the trap because you got caught up in your feelings for a female who ran the soft girl game on you. And they're running the soft girl game hoping not to get the high value man, but they're hoping to get whatever they can find, because there's no chance for them with the high value man. This is all about baiting a dude and switching them because, again, many of these females know that their options are limited. So they got to go out here and put on a gimmick in order to get men's attention, because basically they have no ability to attract a man with their presence. They have no ability to attract a man with their personality, and they have very poor social and interpersonal skills, so they can't engage a man in a conversation. And because they can't engage a man in a conversation, what they do is go out here and look to dress themselves up, because they can't really show the truth about themselves, and they don't want to show the truth about themselves because they don't want people to see all of the character and personal defects that they have. Yes, JKM J87, these women do be having the skid marks in the leggings and the yoga pants, because they are either wearing the skid mark thong, or they ain't got on no drawers at all, because these women do not wash any clothes, because that's not a female life skill they have been trained on. Many of these females barely know how to even operate a washing machine. Again, the feminists, they go out here, they want to work at a job, but they can't work at basic female life skills like learning how to wash in a washing machine. So these women, they don't really know how to take care of their hygiene. They don't know how to take care of a house. So what they do is they want to go again, dress themselves up to look somewhat fly on the outside, so that you can't look at anything on the inside. And then once you start to smell the butt and ravioli after the third or fourth date, you realize that this female doesn't know how to do anything. And what she wants to do again is put up that so-called soft outside, so that the simps will not look at her inside. This is something many dudes out here aren't really thinking about critically. They're not really thinking about, hey, this female is out here with this pink dress on, and again, this pink dress is no different than a sundress. I mean, there's no difference between that $5 sundress she got from Pretty Girl or one of these other, dollar stores, and that pink dress. It's all going to lead to you getting jammed up and winding up on child support if you get with this female. And that's why I warn guys, don't let a $7 sundress cost you 18 years, because if you get involved with this woman, you will wind up on child support for 18 years, and you will wind up jammed up, and you will wind up in a hole, and you will wind up in a place where you're stuck paying child support for a busted female who will be out here with a big manicure that costs $100 and still wearing these leggings and this bonnet. And she'll be out here with these nails and this weave on, and you'll be sitting up there paying for this soft girl to give you a hard time. She's going to be the one always calling the cops on you, calling the court on you, just jacking you up. And this is all can be avoided because, again, there ain't no soft girl. It's just the same busted females, and it's the same busted females who are just putting on a dress and going to the red and white chicken place looking for a high value man. That's exactly where they go. And when you really think about it, it's just like watching a wrestling match. You've got the high value man with his portobello suit on that costs $49, and he's trying to attract the soft female who has on the $7 pretty girl dress. So it's basically you've got them both going to the red and white chicken place run by the Arabs, and they're both going there in the dressed up, hoping to get somebody who doesn't exist. So you've got the high value man looking for the fly ladies at the red and white chicken place, and then you've got the soft girl dressed up in her little pink dress and her makeup, and they're looking at looking for somebody who isn't there, and the whole thing is this is why they run into each other. Both of them are both running gimmicks on each other, hoping to find better, but what they find is each other. So basically, you have your soft girl and your high value man, both of them running game, and then both of them wind up playing themselves, and they wind up playing themselves because they're both, again, looking to lie to each other, and the lies that they tell each other wind up leading to both of them winding up with each other. That is the most hilarious place for that you can, as we think about the soft girl and the high value man, and that's where both of them wind up attracting each other because like attracts like. Yeah, Chris, the red and white chicken place is something here in New York. They usually call them Kennedy Fried Chicken, and they're usually run by Arabs, and they usually have this chicken that's made with your Lorry seasoning salt, and it's not if you it's tolerable if you eat it, but it's nowhere on the level of KFC or your mama's food. I mean, your red and white chicken is just it's mediocre chicken, but guys will buy it because it's cheap, and it's the two-piece dinner is the easiest way for you to go and get it for guys to go out here and get with these women who and get them to drop the skid mark thong so they can get them a taste of the atomic waste. So what these guys will do is they'll go out here, they'll head over to the red and white chicken place, and they will go out here and get with the ladies at the red and white chicken. And in order to show that they're a baller, what they will do is order up some of that red and white chicken, and they think that will impress the females. Now, if they really want to say that they have some money, what the high value dudes will do is they will order the fish or the scrimps, and these women, they will just be looking at this guy and think he's a baller because he spent $10 or $11 on an order of scrimps or some fish that was no better than anything he would get out of a Gorton's bag for about $4.99. So this dude, he's out here thinking, "Oh, I'm balling at this red and white chicken place." I mean, they think, "Oh, I'm going to get this two-piece, and if I get the two-piece, I will be able to get into two holes." So that's what these guys are thinking as related to these kinds of females. So that's what they do when it comes down to the red and white chicken place. I really should do a whole video on red and white chicken because this is the sanctuary of the high value man and the simp. I mean, he loves heading over to that red and white chicken place run by them Arabs because he knows that if he goes out here and he buys the two-piece or the three-piece and he buys one of the fried apple pies, that his chances of getting into that skid mark thong are just basically on their way to becoming guaranteed. But that's what these high value men do. They go to these low value places. They're hanging out at the red and white chicken place. They're hanging out there looking to get a taste of the atomic waste. And they're thinking, "Hey, man, I got this two-piece chicken dinner. And if I buy her a fried apple pie and a Coke, I'm on my way to getting some of them draws." That's what these guys think. And a lot of these so-called soft girls, they're headed to that red and white chicken place because they know that they can, if they go out here and they see this guy who's high value, he's going to be there looking for ladies. And again, both of them are scamming, and usually both of them wind up scamming each other. And they scam each other trying to play this game where they're trying to make themselves look like something that they're not. Because again, the same soft girls, what they will do is they will go out here and head to that red and white chicken place or the Sizzler or one of these other hood spots, and they'll be the soft girl, not understanding you're dealing with the same Pookies and Ray Rays, and you're thinking, "Oh, I'm going over to this place and I'm going to go out here and get me a quality man by going to the same place." Now, The rest of the world call this insanity, but in the eyes of the soft girl, this is logical, and they think that it's logical because, oh, I'm going over to the red and white chicken place with my soft outfit, and I'm gonna go out here, and the high value men are gonna see me in that outfit and think I'm soft and feminine. I can't stop laughing because it's just hilarious to me. I mean, it's just hilarious to me. I mean, this. I mean, I think about the soft girl and the high value man, and again, they are two sides of the same coin. They are two sides of the two wings on the same dirty bird. They are two of the same thing. And again, it just proves a point that like attracts like, where they sit there and they are talking about um they're the soft girl. No, you're just the bust down. And again, you're the bust down who is sitting there trying to make us believe that you are soft. And again, like Trent says, even women are calling this out because quality women, soft feminine women, can see through the facade. They can see through the veneer. They can see through the gimmick. I mean, this is one of the worst gimmicks I have ever seen in my life. And again, it's a terrible gimmick because, these so-called soft girls are not really soft. No, they are just the same old thing, and they are the same old thing that we have been seeing for years. Women running from gimmick to gimmick because they did not work on their values or their character. And because they did not work on their values or character, what they're doing is hoping, hey, these guys will just be as stupid as they were before, get caught up in their lust. And they're hoping that once these guys get caught up in their lust, what they will do again is look at that veneer, not look at the interiors of this woman's character, and they will hoping that you'll fall for it. And they're thinking, oh, I want to make this change. If I show this change, he'll fall for it. But the whole thing is, it's their dishonesty that it leads to their downfall. Because if somebody is serious about change, they will go out here and make an effort to do it. Aaron, the name of these red and white chicken places here in New York are Kennedy Fried Chicken. Some places call them McRogers Fried Chicken. So they have all sorts of names, but usually they go by Kennedy Fried Chicken. So they have all sorts of names. They usually they have Crown Fried Chicken in Harlem, or they have Lincoln Fried Chicken, but it's usually one of these knockoffs of your. They're a poor knockoff of KFC. So they're all over the place. Um, so they're all over. I mean, you got your Kennedy Fried Chickens, you got your Crown Fried Chicken. I mean, they're all over the place here in New York. Practically in every black neighborhood. If you go to a black neighborhood, you are guaranteed to see one of these red and white chicken places, and you will be in for some of the most mediocre chicken as related to this whole experience. I mean, this is the type of chicken that only beta male simps go out here and try to sell, because beta male simps are cheap and they're looking for cheap women that they can go out here and get with. And I'm sure there's possibly a couple of these places. I mean, I'm gonna leave a link so that you guys can see what the red and white chicken place looks like. I mean, here's a link to Google Photos that'll show you the red and white chicken place. You guys can click on the link. This is pictures of red and white chicken places all over the country. I mean, all over the city. And that's Crown Fried Chicken that I sent a link to. And now I'm going to send a link to Kennedy Fried Chicken, so you guys can take a look at your Kennedy Fried Chicken. And again, They have they're red and white, and they're Arab owned. And Aaron made the point, yeah, they call it JJ and Cali. Again, these are always Arab owned chicken places. They are usually in predominantly black neighborhoods, and the food there is not really something you would go out here and pick up. I mean, I have like they have like four of them in my own neighborhood, and the whole thing is people go to these places to go get themselves, something really cheap to eat. Sometimes they're open late at night, but this is not a place that people go on the regular. I mean, even the Chinese restaurant gets more is more appetizing than even the Chinese restaurant chicken is more appetizing than this chicken. I mean, at least the Chinese chicken, has a little bit of spice to it. It has a little bit of a ginger flavor, but this chicken is just you can taste the um, Lowry seasoning salt. And Lowry seasoning salt, it doesn't really work well on fried chicken. It works well on burgers, but it doesn't work well on fried chicken. But your Arab chicken place, they got that chicken. Yeah, I guess Tanya lives in another part where they have this New York fried chicken. Again, it's all over the country. I mean, yeah, it's all over. I mean, yeah, there's all kinds of these red and white, hard, dried chicken. I mean, it's all over, and you in for a nightmare. But the females, they like this kind of stuff. Um, I've been to Golden Corral on D-Wood. I don't know about that chicken. I mean, the best one I've had sometimes is Chinese restaurant chicken, KFC, but it's when it comes down to fried chicken, a lot of these guys, they don't know what they're doing. I'm telling you, Arab chicken, no, no, don't do it. But the soft girls, this is a way to go out here and get with them, and this is what they do. And again, they love hanging out at the red and white chicken place, the um, Arab corner store. I mean, these are the places that folks like to go when they're trying to get some easy draws. And again, the soft girl, she will be there, not understanding that if she just did a little work on the hard road, she would be in a much better place. Because if she went out here and worked on developing her character and worked on developing some values, she would be in a much better place, and she would be able to attract more quality men to her. Because if she worked on her internal issues, then it would reflect on her outside. And if she worked on things like going to the gym and working out, that would also reflect on her. I mean, if she took the time to put in the work on herself, the so-called hard black woman, she could go out here and soften her image and soften it in a way where she wouldn't need a gimmick. If she went out here and learned how to develop actual interpersonal skills, learned how to communicate with men, and if she went out here and went into the gym and started working out, if she worked on her hygiene, if she worked on different traits of herself, she wouldn't need to put on a veneer. She would actually be that person. And what many of the soft girls don't understand is that it's actually easier to put in the work on being the person she wants to be than go out here and put on a facade like many of these women try to do. Now, I myself know from experience that it's just easier to go out here and put in the work in becoming the person you want to be. And it's better for you to go out here and put in the work on the person you want to be than trying to pretend to be something that you're not. Thank you, Yak Diesel, for the super chat. I really appreciate it. He says, "Happy birthday, brother. I actually celebrated my birthday 10 days ago. Virgos unite. I knew that there was a reason why I liked you. Thank you for the invaluable education and insight you provide. Thank you very much for the kind words, and thank you for the super chat. I really appreciate your support, and I really appreciate you coming out to tonight's stream. So again, if you guys want to donate to the super chat for my birthday and celebrate it, you may do so. You can also donate to the Cash App as well to help celebrate my birthday. So thank you again, Yakizo, for the super chat. And again, I'm still, because I see a lot of women, they don't want to do the work to become the person that they want to be. And again, they put on gimmicks and pretend to be something that they hear in the media. And I guess a lot of black females heard about this gimmick in the media, and they thought it would be an easy way to get the attention of black men. But the whole thing is that you're just selling yourself short, because the best way to get the attention of anybody is to just be yourself, because once you put in the work on who you want to be, then you can become that person. And again, you have to have a vision for who you want to be. But these women who put on the soft girl narrative gimmick, they don't really have a vision of who they want to be. A lot of them are followers. A lot of them are just out here, and they're just following whatever is out here, hoping it will go out here and get somebody's attention. And that's like throwing crap on a wall. And a woman of character doesn't have to go throwing crap on a wall. She can just be herself. And if she knows who she is, she can be that person, and people will respect her for who she is. So I'm looking at, again, a lot of these so-called soft girls, and these soft girls, again, these are followers who are looking for a guaranteed gimmick, and they're looking for a guaranteed gimmick that will hopefully get them attention of the guys that they want. But the problem is that the so-called soft girls have low self-esteem, and they're still dressing up just to go to the red and white chicken place. And getting dressed up to go into the red and white chicken place is selling yourself short. Because if you're a person of quality, you're not dressing up to go get some red and white chicken, and you're not dressing up to try to look fly on the outside, to go to a common place where you're going to be just doing the same things. Again, that's just selling yourself short. And again, if these women would put in the work on being who they truly want to be, they wouldn't need these gimmicks or these veneers. Yak Evil says, within regard to the soft girl era, I saw the viral video that kicked off this movement. Did that female not realize we could see their tattoo-laden body? Yeah, I mean, that's what they do. They try to go out here, and we already can see the tattoos on their body. We can see that what they are. And again, we can see through this facade, and they're sitting there thinking, oh, if I just put on a dress and I start putting on these tattoos, it'll cover up those tattoos. But a tattoo it tells a story about you. And I go in depth on that in The Woman Crisis, talking about how these tattoos, they're not really something that a woman wants to get, because once you find out the history of the tattoo, it will basically make it where you'll never want to get another tattoo again. Now, a lot of these females, again, they're thinking, oh, I'm just going to see the soft dress and the natural hair or whatever she's got, and they're going to just fall for it. But most guys are not going to fall for it, because, again, we see what this is. We see this gimmick, and it's a really bad gimmick. I mean, this is like, again, you just thinking, if I put on a pink dress, I won't see the same woman. But it's just you in a pink dress, and you're not making any efforts to change. You're still the same female. And again, if you're still the same female and you are still set in your ways, again, it's no different than going out here and getting an 89 Yugo, spraying it red, and then telling me that it's a Corvette. I'm sorry, no, it's not a Corvette. It's an 89 Yugo with 300,000 miles and a blown head gasket. And all of those issues make it where I don't want to drive this car, because it's an 89 Yugo. Thank you for the birthday wishes, computer robots. Really appreciate them. I mean, this is what people don't really get. I mean, if I want an 89 Yugo, I'll go get an 89 Yugo, but don't try to gaslight me into thinking an 89 Yugo is a Corvette, because we know that they're two completely different vehicles. And even if you put paint on them, it's still not a Corvette, but you can't explain this to the black woman who talks about, oh, I'm gonna be a soft girl and it's gonna be a soft girl era. No, there's not a soft girl era. It's just a lot of women hitting a hard wall. And as they're hitting a hard wall, what they're doing is realizing that they're running out of options. And now that they realize that they're running out of options, what they're doing is what I talk about in the Woman Crisis in the chapter Bust Downtown, hoping that they can go out here and find, again, a gullible simp as they're realizing that they're running out of time and they're running out of opportunities. So they think that they can go out here and dress up the outside, but the whole thing is we already know what the inside is, and that's why we can look at it and go, that's not a soft girl. No, that's a masculine woman in a dress. So Yakizo makes a point. He says, to your point, there tend to be a few common denominators with these females. One, they tend to be of a certain age, and I have to agree with that. They're usually late 30s, early 40s, or even late 40s. Two, they have excess tattoos and piercings. Yeah, I've seen that a lot. And again, a rough masculine cadence. Yeah, that's the masculine woman. They all think that they're going to go out here and make this facade. And they think, oh, this is going to sand off all of those rough edges. But most people saw that even if you sand it off, it's still the same female because she cannot change the way she was raised. She can't change the way she was taught. She can't erase all of that dysfunction because, again, a feminine woman is a difference between her and a so-called soft girl. Yeah, Computer Robot says what soft girls need to understand is that men want women who are not only feminine and assertive, but have a moral position and who's compassionate, understanding, and will work with us, not against us. I have to agree with that. Yeah, what men really want is a woman who is soft and feminine, but also is out here looking to support a man. So this is what men want, but the whole thing is these women figured it out a little. They haven't even really figured it out. They're still trying to go out here and trying to finesse dudes. And as they try to finesse dudes, what they do is play themselves because what they do as they're trying to go out here and run this gimmick on this guy is that they go to the same places looking for the same guys, or they try to finesse somebody like a white male boss or somebody like that. And it all fails miserably. And soft girl is something that will possibly be forgotten in less than a month because we're going to forget about it, just like many other gimmicks that we've got out here. But the sad part with black folks is we keep trying to run gimmicks instead of putting in the work on ourselves, because you're running these gimmicks like the high value man, the passport bro, the soft girl. These are all just really bad gimmicks, and we can do better than going out here and running bad gimmicks. No, we just have to be ourselves, and if you're just yourself and working on your purpose, you will attract quality people of character to you. And this is something that many of the soft girls, the high value men, and the passport bros don't want to do. And that's why you have people looking to go out here and looking for the easy way out, but winding up in a hard situation because the soft girl, the high value man, the passport bro, they need these gimmicks. And the whole thing is they need the gimmick because they're not confident in themselves. And because they're not confident in themselves, what they do is hold on to the gimmick like a crutch and hope that the gimmick will carry them from one station in life to the next. But when you're carrying a crutch, it's slowing you down and it's keeping you from actualizing your potential. This is what your high value man, your soft girl, and your passport bro don't understand. These gimmicks, they hold you back and they keep you from actualizing your potential to become the person you want to be, and they keep you from being the person you imagine yourself to be, because As long as you're holding on to a crutch in your life, you're not going to get anywhere at all, and it's just going to slow you down and keep you just going in a circle instead of moving in a straight line. Because you don't need a gimmick out here. I mean, you don't need these gimmicks. I mean, if you have confidence, you'll have no problem attracting people to you. But you have people out here, they just want to have a gimmick, thinking, oh, if I get this gimmick, again, like a wrestler, it'll get your attention. But again, it'll get your attention for a moment. And there's a point where you have to be yourself, because while you're a wrestler, yes, he will have a gimmick that will get him in the door. It is his ring work and his mic work and his charisma that will get him over with the audience, or get her over with the audience. And that's the difference between a talented wrestler and a guy holding on to a crutch. So they are just out here again. They're sitting up here. These people are all running around here with these gimmicks. And again, they're coming out with the gimmick because they don't have any confidence, and because they don't have any confidence to be themselves. What they do is hold on to the gimmick. And again, gimmicks will get you in the door, but if you hold on to them for too long and you try to make the gimmick a part of yourself, what's going to happen is people aren't going to see you as a person. No, they're only going to see this imaginary idea. And again, an imaginary idea isn't a real person, and it keeps people from seeing the real you. You can do better than going out here and adhering to one of these corny gimmicks. I mean, human beings can have to learn how to be themselves and accept who they are. And many Black women, they have to learn how to accept who they are and be who they are. And then once you start to accept who you are and be who you are and be yourself, you'll be in a much better place than going out here putting on a gimmick, putting on somebody else's ideas, making yourself into somebody's imagined idea, because a soft girl is an idea that came from a white woman. And basically what your so-called soft girls are doing is trying to turn themselves into white women and taking on a white woman's cast-off idea. And again, Black women should start to say, hey, I'm better than being a gimmick. I'm better than being somebody else's gimmick. I need to be myself. I need to find out who I am, and I need to show people who I am, not be somebody's gimmick and not be somebody else's idea. Because when I become somebody else's idea of me, I'm not really being the real me. And that's what the soft girl is. She's not being the real her. She's being somebody else's idea of herself. And again, life is too short to be somebody else's idea of who you are. No, you need to be you, and you need to be proud of you. And again, when you've got girls pumping about soft girl, you got grown women in their 40s and their 50s talking about soft girl. They're not proud of who they are, and they're not proud of all of the skeleton bones that they've had. So they want to try to dress it up and make it real nice. But the whole thing is, you can't make something that isn't what it is into something that it isn't. I mean, this isn't, they call it the soft girl era, but I don't see a soft girl era. I just see another gimmick like the high value man, and I see the soft girl going the way of the high value man, or your passport, bro. These gimmicks come and go. These gimmicks get pushed every couple of months or couple of years, and these gimmicks get pushed and people buy into them, hoping for an easy relationship. But there is no easy as related to relationships. No, you're going to have to put in that work, and you're going to have to go out here and put in all of that work on the regular. And if you don't want to put in the work, you can try to use these gimmicks, and then what will happen is you'll wind up disappointed, because a gimmick, again, it gets you in the door, but it doesn't get you over but so far. And eventually you have to start putting the work in to show who you really are. But I would rather just be myself and not go and try to run on a gimmick, because a gimmick is a crutch, and people are better than a crutch. I mean, why would I want to walk on a crutch in life when I'm fully healthy and I can go out here and be who I want to be and do what I need to do? I mean, that's what they do. Again, gimmick after gimmick, like Kevin is saying, black girl magic, hot girl summer. I mean, it's one gimmick after the other, and we all can doing different ones. Yakuza, I'm not doing anything as related to the Queen because it has nothing to do with black people. I mean, I look at the first family of white supremacy, and that has nothing to do with us. I mean, my focus is tangibles, so I'm not doing any videos about the Queen. I'm just gonna focus on black empowerment at this point. So as I see it, yeah, the Queen. I'm sorry that she's passed, but it has nothing to do with black people. I mean, there are people in Jamaica who are mourning her passing, but when it comes down to foundational black Americans, this ain't got nothing to do with us. I talked about this with G-Boot on his show, and it's got nothing to do with us. So when I look at, again, this soft girl era, there is no soft girl era. There's just desperate women looking for a gimmick, and what they're looking for is an easy way to try to get a man. It's no different than what we saw in the 90s with Terry McMillan and Waiting to Exhale. I'm looking for a good man. Now that I can't find a good man, I want to go out here and find a gimmick that will hopefully get a guy's attention. But the big problem with many of these women is that they learned how to be feminists, and because they learned how to be feminists, they don't know how to be women. And many of these feminists, they don't have the female life skills on how to attract a man. They know how to get a job, but they don't know how to attract a man. And even more so, they don't know how to keep a man. And because they don't know how to have a relationship with a man, and they've been taught that a man is an adversary, many of these women, they can't have relationships because they've been taught how to have an education and a career, but they have never been taught how to have a relationship with a man. And this is something I go in depth on in my book, The Woman Crisis. And that's a book you guys definitely have to go out here and put your pre-order in, because The Woman Crisis, I talk all in depth about this. So that's something I talk in depth. You put in your pre-order for it. Yeah, I'm sad. I'm sad that the Queen has passed. And again, she's just somebody's mother or somebody's grandmother, but she isn't doing anything for the black community. I mean, she's the first family of white supremacy, and the way they did the Duchess of Ratchetness, Meghan Markle, shows us again they aren't really thinking about us. And again, if it's not about tangibles, it's not something I'm gonna really talk about. And I just want the young sisters I know out here that, again, there is no soft girl era. You've got to put in the work if you want to be feminine. You've got to go out here and learn femininity from your mother. You've got to learn it from women in your community, because this is something that women taught each other. And again, the mothers were the first teachers. So they taught their daughters, they taught their children how to be feminine. But sadly, after 60 years of feminism, a lot of women don't know how to be feminine. So they're trying to create this. So they're trying to learn how to do it with the soft girl era. And again, they are just showing that they are women in crisis. And that's what we see with most of these women out here. These are women in crisis. And the main reason why they're talking about soft girl is because they learned how to become feminists and not women. So I went extended on this stream, so I'm going to get ready to wrap up tonight's stream. And if you want to look at some books featuring feminine, soft black women, you can pick up Isis Legacy and Eastine Horror of the Hyena Woman on Amazon.com in paperback and Kindle format. And if you want to go out here and learn more about why so many women are struggling, you can pick up The Woman Crisis on Kindle, Smashwords, the iBookstore, and Google Play. You can put in the pre-orders for those books, and they'll be delivered to your device on November 29th. And The paperback should be out about that time. It should be out a little earlier than that because I know it takes time to get paperbacks printed. But everything I'm working towards getting the Woman Crisis out here. And the Woman Crisis is a book that I have been working on for the last 2 years. It was viewer requested as a companion to the Man Crisis. So I'm hoping that everybody can learn from the Woman Crisis like they did with the Man Crisis. And I'm hoping everybody will come out and enjoy and learn from the Woman Crisis. But I'm going to wrap up tonight's birthday stream. And I want to thank everybody for coming out to tonight's birthday stream. If you want to drop a birthday gift like a couple of brothers have, you can drop it on the Cash App by clicking the link in the description box. And I'm hoping that you guys will be here for next week's stream. I want to thank you all for coming out to tonight's stream. And have a good evening and have a good night.